Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to the channel Engelgeist. For those of you that are here and new, thank you for stopping by. For those of you that are returning, thank you for coming back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, I greatly appreciate your support. It helps to keep the channel going. Anybody interested in supporting the channel financially, if you want to go over to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist, you can choose a subscription level. These readings are available a day early over there, and also there's other specific readings that are only available over there depending on the subscription level you choose. This is a broad spectrum reading for a multitude of people who may watch it at any given time. So therefore, it is, wide-ranging. You'll have to take what I say and figure out where it applies to your life, if it applies at all. This is the daily forecast for Thursday, September 24th. It's not necessarily set only for that date. If you're watching this on a day that is not September 24th, the intention is the message for the highest good for the greater collective. Therefore, you have to trust that when you're seeing it, when it's popping up in your feed, when it's ever crossing your path, it's time for you to hear the message. And hopefully that will give you some sort of guidance, validation, inspiration, hope. That's sort of the intention of these readings. Never take what I say over your own intuition. That's always like a kind of a thing of mine. I want you to use these readings to enhance what you already know, what you're already feeling, get validation, gain insight, but, be your own guru, so to speak. What was I going to say? If things don't make sense, right? If things, you're like, what is he talking about? This does not apply to me. That's completely fine too. You might be just working on something different than the greater collective at the time that you view this video. So don't worry, don't let this video cause you any stress or worry if it doesn't make sense. That's completely fine too. It's kind of like take what you need and leave the rest. So, and for those of you that watch regularly daily, you know the drill. These are just to be built upon the readings that have gone previous to us. So I try and connect them back to previous cards that we've seen earlier in the week and things like that. Alright, so let's get started. So what do we need to know for this Thursday the 24th? Now, who is our midweek card? Oh, it's that Ace of Wands. Okay. Talk about that fiery, inspired energy. And we have the moon in Sag right now, and Mars is fire, fire, fire. Okay, let's see here. We're also in Libra season, which air feeds fire, so that's a good thing, allowing it to burn even more. And we have our friend, the King of Wands. Alright, this is really good to me. I feel like this is very affirming to that Ace of Wands energy that's underneath. I didn't talk much about that yesterday because we had that Eight of Cups, and I didn't really, now that I think about it, I think, as I'm thinking about yesterday's reading, I didn't really follow back into Sunday to kind of corroborate that. So sorry for anybody that I didn't note that, but I guess maybe that wasn't about that. Maybe my feeling is, to be honest, as I'm looking at this King of Wands, it feels like that Eight of Cups that we might be going through, that emotional separation that I talked about in yesterday's reading, is about sort of maybe clearing the space for the activity of this Ace of Wands, this energy, this King of Wands. Wands I always talk about is the element of fire and the spirit, right? The soul, what burns us, what, gets our desires going and allows us to sort of take an action, right? Sometimes we can be impulsive with Wands energy, but the Kings usually aren't necessarily too impulsive. I would save that more for the Knights if there was any court card that was going to be more an impulsive take, right? Kings are sort of, especially him seated here too. He's like in charge, he feels in control, he knows his purpose. It looks like that Ace of Wands that was in Sunday's reading, that it was being handed to us by that hand from the sky. Very traditional ace artwork. This king has grasped it, right? We're taking it. We're like, okay, I get that this is a gift. I get that I am in line with it. I get that I am ready for it. I get that I am empowered to utilize it in how I see fit. There's an appreciation here. And remember, I'm going to take you back to Sunday again with the grounding stone, that wisdom grounding stone. There's a wisdom to this king, right? There's an awareness. Kings have this experience. That's how they become kings. They are smart. They're savvy. They're intuitive. They're empathic. They're at times benefic or benevolent. They can be loving. They can also be realistic, right? Like we have to sort of do what we have to do for the betterment of the whole, so to speak, right? But a king is always going to sort of take care of himself first, and deservedly so, right? He has a sort of a more important role. So when I think about this king card or this king energy that comes in on this with that ace backing it up, it speaks to this idea of us maybe getting into the driver's seat today, us really owning like whatever it is we desire, whatever it is we want, and taking sort of use of the opportunities that may come to us through that ace, right? These opportunities could come from unexpected places or possibly out of the blue. That's some of the ace energy too, so keeping that in mind, but we will be well prepared for it. We will be ready to receive it with this king energy. Does that make sense, guys? So, like, sit back, enjoy the ride, so to speak. Really think deeply about sort of what it is you want and how that feels, right? How that inspires you, how that lights, that desire or passion in you. And then from there, start to make educated action or steps to move yourself in that direction. He is seated facing the past to me, which sort of feels interesting to me. And I also have to say, when I'm looking at him, I don't know why, but I'm getting a feeling that some of you might be a little bit angry, frustrated maybe with a situation from the past or something that maybe quite didn't work out. And that may be a layover from yesterday's Eight of Cups. We have been seeing that Eight of Cups card a lot this month. So I feel like, those of you that are inventorying situations, people in your lives that you're trying to either remove or change, that might be some of this frustration. It's like we realize we're worth more, and there's, in taking that worth or taking that stance, owning that awareness, we have to maybe sacrifice other things or let other things go. But I feel like we're doing it for the greater good, if that makes sense, right? We will be better off for having done it, and so will the situation, the people. Ultimately, they'll have their own paths or their own opportunities to move forward too, right? Things have to sort of constantly be evolving and changing. So I think that the action of this king, right, and the awareness of this king outrules any sort of frustration or I don't know if negativity is the right word, but anger, maybe resentment that people may be feeling. If you are feeling any of that, if you're saying like, "Oh, I'm not feeling the empowered nature of this king. Actually, I'm kind of pissed off at the world right now." Don't be, right. Remember that like this king brings the ability to create his own world and how he views it, how he interacts with it. There might be some possibilities for pondering that today, like, and changing those things, right? Or opportunities to rearrange that that way that we interact. Okay, so this is the Moonology card. I love it. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. So I think tonight is the first quarter moon. So that's not really super in line with this, but just I noticed that on my calendar when I was looking at what cards played. This expect powerful change, to me, that's this Ace of Wands energy coming in, and that's this king accepting it, right? Taking the responsibility, trusting himself, making the changes that are required, even if they might be emotional, not allowing that emotion to get into the way of sort of his can-do attitude, his drive to have a better experience, a better life, a better set of opportunities around him. Okay, the new moon is always about the building of energy, and an eclipse is kind of like everything may change because of this, right? This position that we might be taking, if we're taking a position of sort of authority or power in our life and trying to steer our life in a direction that maybe others don't want, that could our desires may eclipse others, and that might be also what's triggering these changes, right? But these changes are okay, is my feeling. They're sort of needed in some way. I've been feeling this all the way along, even since last week's readings. You guys need to just embrace it and flow with it. I want to say like commune with it in a way and kind of rule over it. That's this king energy, right? He's bringing us this ability to sort of be sort of in acceptance with it to the best of our abilities and then utilize it to take action to move forward. All right, let's see what the grounding stone is, and then I will read you the definition from the book because we like to do that. Oh, hey, baby grounding stone. So this is one of the smallest grounding stones in the bag, but this is give. It's on carnelian, which is the root. It takes me to the root chakra, which is all about sort of our connection to the planet, our survival, how we sort of maybe see and view ourselves in our life. I mean, at a very sort of, I don't want to say base level, but like, primal level, how we interact with the world. With this give, it's interesting to me because we had 4 give earlier this week. We had health, and then we had generosity, which is also another form of giving. I'm going to go to this place of who are we giving to and what are we actually giving? These would be questions to ask, to think about, and to ground in today. Are we giving ourselves enough? Are we honoring our connection to the planet? Are we honoring, I also love that this is a red stone and we have that ace of wands and we have the king of wands, which is, fire element energy. And we have the moon in Sag. Aries is Mars, the fire planet, is in Aries. There's a lot of this red energy going on, a lot of this primal maybe desire pushing us forward, compelling us to get things done. What do we have to give to that, right? How much do we have left to give? I think we have plenty. That's my feeling here, especially with this new moon eclipse and this powerful change that's coming. I think that we need to remember to give to ourselves first and foremost. I think that this king also speaks to the idea of placing ourselves first before anyone else at this time. And also, I would say, doing that without any qualms, no second guessing, no hesitation, do it. Even if people react in a way that, maybe they don't like, or that you don't like, that, maybe they, I don't know, they complain, whatever. Don't let that deter you. Give that to yourself first and foremost. And then from there, you can kind of also, when you're giving that to yourself, in essence, you're sort of also giving other people the credence or the validation to do what they need to do for themselves, right? Even if at first they don't realize that, maybe they take issue with how you're going about doing things, they don't want you to do it, whatever it is that they're saying. And it doesn't necessarily have to be people, maybe it's a situation that we're involved in that is, giving us like situations where we have to, I don't know, look at, am I doing the right thing societally or whatever? I'm going to just be blunt. Fuck all that. And give to yourself first. Live your life and take care of yourself. Honor yourself. Do what your desires are true and pure in your heart, right? And allow this change to sort of take effect and rule from this place. As you do that, you actually give a gift to others, even if they don't see it, right? Because you're living from your truth. You're pursuing your desires. You're taking action to your goals. You're honoring yourself and treating yourself with respect, right? We live in a society where sometimes that's looked upon as like maybe a negative thing or selfish. And this doesn't have to do with anything with selfishness at all. This has to do with when we place ourselves in a position of power, then we're able, a power in our own life, then we're able to actually not only give to ourselves, but we have more to give to others to help them and assist them too in the long run. And again, all of this is tied back to that wisdom stone, which underpins this is, coming into contact with this awareness and this wisdom is powerful stuff. And sometimes, there's a responsibility that comes with that, and that scares people too. So let me read these cards to you really quick. King of Wands. Status, honor, an intellectual, artistic force who is more stable than the Knight of Wands, a man who has succeeded due to his own intelligence and determination, overcoming a disadvantaged start in life to reach a position of influence and satisfaction. The card represents more than the material success which may accompany his rise. It is achievement that contributes to the arts, sciences, or quality of life, a life well lived. So, and I also think that he's sort of sitting in that position looking to the past, like he's maybe reflecting to a certain amount. And there might be some things in the past that we need to let go of so that we can move forward, but that's completely fine. And then this is the new moon eclipse. Let me find that for you. New moon eclipse, expect powerful change. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in this situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work. But be prepared, it could be quite a ride, and events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up. This is that Ace of Wands energies, guys. And all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. You're being put back on the right path. There is nothing to fear. Attuned to the moon, never mind the past. Life evolves every single day. Additional meanings for this card. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. You're being shunted towards your life's purpose. Whatever is happening now is happening for your highest good. This is an important turning point in your life. The teaching, new moon eclipses are among the most exciting astrological events. They herald a complete change of pace. It's as though you're headed in one direction, probably being guided by your ego, and then here comes the divine, the goddess or spirit, to turn you instead to face the direction you actually need to go. Regardless of whether or not there's a new moon eclipse happening when you pull this card, it's a powerful affirmation of positive turnarounds. We had this card also last week. I remembered that just from that reading. There's stuff going on for us, guys, and it's out there for the taking, even if we feel limited in today's world just due to what's going on. So keep that in mind. Give yourself this time and this grace and this opportunity by exploring it and just opening yourself up to the change. That is your forecast. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.